Do not forget, you can support the channel with a like, and you can also subscribe to be aware of the latest published videos. Thank you. We hope that here you can find the latest news, ideas, and discoveries from the scientific world.
The Beeching Axe. Today in 1963, Dr. Richard Beeching published his controversial report on the future of British railways, entitled The Reshaping of British Railways. In June 1961, Beeching, a former director with ICI, was appointed as the first chairman of the British Railways Board. He was tasked by Harold Macmillan's Conservative government with returning the rail industry to profitability following decades of declining passenger numbers. Beeching concluded that due to the increased competition from car travel and the rapidly expanding road network, the only answer was a drastic reduction in the number of unprofitable railway lines. This resulted in the closure of 2,363 stations throughout Britain and the loss of approximately 70,000 jobs. Wales was particularly affected by Beeching Axe. Nearly 200 stations were closed, and the ability to travel from north to south without going into England and changing trains. Beeching's plans were extremely unpopular with the public and the trade unions. However, he argued that the railway system had originally been built by competing businesses, which had led to many inefficiencies and there being too many loss-making lines. Critics claimed that his action was an oversimplified solution to a deep-seated and complex problem. They also maintained that by closing local routes and forcing people to travel by car, that they would be more likely to complete their journey by car rather than parking and catching a mainline train. The estimated savings of the closure program was £7 million, substantially less than the £30 million estimated by Beeching, and they have resulted in Britain becoming the most car-dependent state in Europe. This also killed many towns that, due to poor road infrastructure or remote locations, relied on the railway to being tourists. An excellent example of this is Ventnor on the Isle of Wight. The town is only now showing a real recovery after the loss of the station. Ironically, it is on the list to be reconsidered for a new line to be built after a long series of surveys are completed. Beeching returned to ICI in June 1965, shortly after announcing a second stage of cuts which were rejected by the government, and it remains unclear as to whether he was sacked or left by mutual arrangement. Now, 60 years later, there are countless studies being carried out across the UK to reopen some of the lines, including the Wales North-South line and an additional line into Devon and Cornwall. This is due to the increase in road traffic and the push to achieve net zero. One electric train can in theory remove at least 500 single-occupant cars from the roads if the infrastructure can be improved and the service can be delivered with a competitive price to bring people from their cars. The chances of this happening are probably slim until the rail network is brought under proper regulation.